All right. We are super excited that y'all are joining us tonight. My name is Morgan Johnson. I am a Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. All that means is I really love to share things with my friends. And you guys are my friends tonight. I cannot wait to tell you how I got introduced to Plexus was from a dear friend. Her name is Krista. You get to hear her story at the end. We were mutual friends. People at church connected us together, and I started following her journey of her family and really just felt drawn to health supplements. So maybe you're here tonight and you have no idea why you're on this call. You just had this nudge. That was me. I had a curiosity. I had a nudge towards health supplements, and I didn't even know why I needed them. Y'all, I thought I was healthy. I thought that I ate pretty balanced. And what I meant by that is I ate a whole lot of junk and a whole lot of fruits and veggies. And it was pretty balanced. I really didn't know a whole lot about health. I wasn't some natural guru. I took a prenatal vitamin because I had had 3 children. Other than that, I had not taken supplements before I got introduced to Plexus, but I really trusted Krista. I watched her family. I really loved her family, and I knew that I could trust her. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, kind of interested in these things, been talking to a couple of my friends about them. They want them too. Do you think they might be for me? She said, sure. This is what I started on. And she started me on something which we call our basic combo. It's called the Triplex combo. It's the pink drink, which I didn't actually bring the thing, but I'm finishing my pink drink. You can drink it at all different times, which I'll get there. I ordered the best probiotic on the market. It's called Probio 5. Bio Cleanse, which is a magnesium supplement. I was scared of this, friends, and I will tell you why very soon. And then I grabbed X Factor as well, glare on here, but trust me, it's the X Factor vitamin, and it had aloe. So my body was able to absorb the vitamin, and truly I felt a huge difference when I took X Factor, and I had never felt a difference before when I took my prenatal vitamins. But this vitamin, I knew when I took it, and I knew when I didn't take it. I felt better when I took it. I couldn't tell you all the science behind it. I'm just telling you, that's how I felt. Okay. I'm going to take you back to 2016 when I started. I was a tired mama, and I had accepted a whole lot of things as normal that weren't normal. I didn't realize that my gut was like screaming at me, this is a problem. But I did not go to the bathroom every day. I thought that that was normal because I was skinnier and maybe I just didn't need to. I thought the stomach pains I were having was just normal because maybe I just ate a little something wrong. And there were just things that led to that. I thought taking a nap with how old they would have been 4, 2, and my newborn was normal. I had just accepted all of that stuff to be normal. And then as soon as I started taking these supplements, I realized I wasn't napping every day with my kiddos anymore. And that natural energy.
Darling.
I noticed also that my chocolate addiction was going away. When I say that I had a chocolate addiction, I mean, I ate a chocolate granola bar for breakfast. I had a little bit of chocolate in the afternoon, and I would eat the biggest, best dessert I could find after dinner. I'm talking about brownies, sundae, hot fudge, and then feel sick afterwards and wonder why I was feeling sick, right? But I could not say no to sweets. It was beyond liking chocolate for me. My gut craved it so much, but that's why Probio 5 helped. Y'all, I went to Starbucks and got the chocolatey-est, saltiest, caramelist drink. And after upping my Probio, really focusing on gut health, I realized I didn't even like it anymore. To this day, I can go days without chocolate. I can make chocolate chip cookies for my children, put the plate on the counter, and no longer need to eat the whole plate. I cannot even, I could be on a sugar fast and still do it. That's huge for me. And why? Because my gut is healthier. So one of my very favorite things about Plexus is that it gets to the root of our issues, cleans our body out, balances out, and it brings lasting change. I'm here 6 years later, still experiencing effects from these supplements that are helping my body stay on track, because we didn't get unhealthy overnight, and we're not going to get healthy overnight either. We have to stay the course and allow these supplements to work as I know that they do. They're natural, plant-based. We love them. And when I started, I was a secret skeptic, supplement snob. Nobody knew I was doing it. My best friend, my mom, they didn't know I was drinking the stuff. Like, I would have this drink and I'd be like, oh no, I don't want your stuff, but I'm not gonna tell you what this is. Like, just would deny the chocolate, and they knew something was weird. But 6 months into it, y'all, same nudge I felt to the supplements, I felt to the business, and I laid down my pride. I admitted to my husband what I was feeling, told Krista, I think I'm supposed to help you hit this next rank, which I really didn't even know what that meant. I was like, I can order a lot of products. She's like, no, you already do. You need to ask others to join you. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. So I laid down my pride. I posted on social media. I messaged all my close best friends. I hit the first rank in one day. And then the rest is history, y'all. The next year, I was making enough to put my kids in private school. The next year, I was making my husband's salary, and he was able to stop pastoring in Florida when we transitioned to North Carolina. And now I make a 6-figure income. I've been on more trips than I can count. I've gotten more gifts than I can count. And not one time did I strive to get any of those things. What I did was I shared the gift of these supplements and the health that I had received with so many other friends. And the next friend that you're going to hear from, I would never have known had it not been for Plexus. And one of the biggest blessings of Plexus, of network marketing, is getting to meet Jules, like Christy Arias, who's going to share her story with you now. All right, Christy, take it away.
Thank you, Morgan. Hi, everybody. My name is Christy Arias. I live in South Florida. I have 2 beautiful girls, a 3.5-year-old and a 14-month-old. And I have been using Plexus for, it's going to be 3 years at the beginning of June. So we're at right about the 2.5-year mark. And I, like Morgan, was the biggest skeptic. A little bit of my backstory. After I had my first daughter, I was struggling a lot with not only weight, but inflammation. And my entire life, I had an irregular menstrual cycle. And if you don't know, a menstrual cycle is a huge indicator of your overall health as a woman. And I had been irregular since I got my period, like the very first time when I was really young. And you know, doctors had put me on birth control, and they put me on metformin and progesterone and all these crazy things to see if it would help, and nothing helped. I was a hot mess as far as that. I would sit in my closet and cry because none of my clothes fit. And I was just in a place, my first daughter was almost 1. And I was just in a place where I was like, okay, something has got to give. I'm eating healthy. I'm, working out periodically, not as committed as realistically as I am right now to it. But, I was like, I'm overall kind of like Morgan, I'm pretty healthy. Like, it's not, I'm not really unhealthy. I don't eat McDonald's. I don't eat fast food, but it was like, I was doing all these things and nothing was changing. Like, my body was still retaining all of this inflammation and weight and all this stuff. So I reached out to a friend of mine who was taking the products, and long story short, I also started on Triplex, which is the same combo that Morgan just mentioned and broke down, which is Slim, which I actually have here and I'm drinking right now, ProBio 5 and Bio Cleanse. And I took it. Plexus has a 60-day money back guarantee, and I took it telling my husband, I'm going to get my money back. Like, don't worry about it. It's probably not going to work. Like, just, it's fine. He was like, okay, go ahead, spend the money. It's okay. Husbands. Yeah. So he was like, it's fine. Go ahead. If there's a 60-day money back guarantee and it doesn't work, that's great. So I fully went into this expecting it to fail, expecting it to not actually work for me, even though I had seen it work for so many other people, but you know how it is. So I went into it, and 3 weeks in, I would say, I was like, hey, I feel lighter. I feel brighter. I feel more energy. Like, this is good. And, my husband, Vic, would look at me and be like, hey, babe, you're spunky. And I'm like, yeah, I feel good. Like, this feels great. So it felt really good. about 45 days in was when I actually saw the physical changes started happening in my body. I didn't notice until I saw a picture of myself in like the same place 45 days apart. It was like one of those weird trippy things that you're like, oh my gosh. And I had noticed when I compared the two photos, how much inflammation I was holding on to. And on the scale, I actually weighed the same exact weight, but I looked like a completely different person, especially my face. I don't know about you guys, but I hold a lot of inflammation in my face. And I literally looked like holy mother of just fat face. So I started noticing that. And after that, I didn't realize until a few months down the line that I had actually gotten my period every single month since I started the products, which is absolutely unheard of. So you can get I'm going to try to keep it quick, but so you can get an idea. I used to have cycles that were literally the most unpredictable thing ever. Like I would get them twice in 1 month. I would get them once every 2 months, once every 6 weeks. It was just all over the place. So when I started realizing a few months down the line, I was like, oh my gosh, I've gotten my period every single month since I started these products. It just was like a light bulb moment for me. And I just said, you know what? I have to share with other people. There has to be other moms, other women out there who are struggling with the same things that I struggled with. And they need to know that there are answers that does not include medication, that does not include something that you end up, being addicted to, or things that like, if you don't take it, your whole life is a mess. It doesn't have to be that way. And that's not the way God intended us to live. So from there, I started sharing. I started, just being honest and upfront on social media, telling people why I love the products, what they've done for me, and what they've done for, my family. As I am actually a entrepreneur. I'm a wedding photographer alongside my husband, but the income that I have made with Plexus has been able to supplement us beautifully, because during the pandemic, if you don't know, there were like no weddings. So this Plexus income was able to come in and be that beautiful buffer room that we needed when all the weddings stopped happening here in Florida. But it was just a huge blessing that it's been for my life and the life of countless others that you're going to hear as we go on with this call. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Amanda, who's going to share a little bit more about her testimony and all the things that Plexus has done for her.
Thank you so much. I love hearing all of the testimonies. I'm actually newer to Plexus. I started using the products in August. And I started using them. I would see people sharing it online. I would see Morgan sharing it. And then I followed Jessie Green, and I've seen her share it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that. So I went ahead and I tried it. And a little backstory to what led me to actually saying yes to trying it. I am a nurse practitioner, and I left traditional healthcare during COVID because I was like fed up with it. I'm like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. And my own personal story, I had a hysterectomy. I was diagnosed with PCOS, and I spent years trying to rebalance my health, like absolute years. I had a hysterectomy. Well, last year I ended up, like, all the work that I felt like I did, I was like hit again, and I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease and Epstein-Barr. So after that diagnosis of going through 10 years of trying to get my health back together, I was like, Lord, I cannot possibly do this again. I'm like, I feel like I'm at square one. But I'm so thankful that I was led. I always say that I was led because our steps are ordered. So I was led to these products. And at the time I left traditional healthcare and I started functional medicine training. So I was actually helping patients help really regain their health as well. I had an online vitamin dispensary where I would have to find and spend hours searching through vitamins and making sure they were methylated and making sure they had all of the right complex, they were the right vitamins, they had pure products. I literally spent hours doing this for patients. And then I had to do it for myself again after my Lyme's disease diagnosis and my Epstein-Barr. And when the Lord brought me to this. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I wasn't really skeptical, but I wasn't really like, oh, okay, we'll see how it goes. And then about 4 weeks later, I'm like, I wait, what? This is crazy. I'm starting to feel like myself again. What's happening? So I am so thankful that I stayed committed to it, and actually sharing the business opportunity. I just started sharing it, and then I was like, wait, I can help a lot of people with these. So I was very thankful to rank up. And again, it's not about ranking up. I'm thankful for the business opportunity. I'm thankful for the income, because that has been such a blessing. And really, a friend of mine and I joke all the time. We're like, this all started with a pair of shoes, because I really wanted Nikes. It literally started with a pair of shoes. I'm like, I'm going to get those Nikes. I don't know what Jesse Green's talking about these Nikes, but I'm going to get them. So it started with Nikes, and that really helped me like hit that incentive. And then just hearing people's feedback. So true, Morgan. I work now in addiction recovery, because I always say we go where the Lord calls us. And so now I work part-time in addiction recovery, and then I work my business the other part of the time. Well, all the time. But the joke in our office when everyone comes in the meeting is, do you have your Plexus? They're like, do you have your Plexus? Because I am like, listen, just try it. I promise you, just try it. My favorite product is BioCleanse. I actually have a daughter getting married next month. Thank you, Morgan. I actually have a daughter. My oldest is getting married next month. And she's like, Mom, I just want to, like, my skin is acting crazy. And I'm like, I know what you need. This is what you need. This will change your skin. I promise. So really, I started with the triplex. I started with a reset actually, and then the triplex. And so now my husband has his own little mason jar full of pink drink, and he's got his BioCleanse, and he's got his probiotic there, because I really am a firm advocate, especially being trained in functional medicine, in gut health. I always say, like, look at the gut, look at the gut, look at the gut. And one of my frustrations I left modern medicine, and then he called me back into addiction, which I say that's my ministry. But leaving, quote unquote, I worked in hospice. I've watched a lot of people die from preventable diseases, very preventable diseases. And yes, the inflammation that's a game changer. The ease has been very, it's been crucial in lowering inflammation in myself and other people. So just seeing so many people in the healthcare industry be diagnosed with something that I'm like, we can fix that. Just today, I took a family member to a doctor for some concerning symptoms, and she was given the PCOS cocktail, I call it. Everybody gets the PCOS cocktail if you have irregular periods, and it's metformin and spirolactone. And I'm like, no, like, let me help you with something more natural. I'm not anti-medicine, but I really believe it has its place, and it's not first place. So nothing replaces lifestyle, but being able to get my energy back after being diagnosed with Lyme's disease and Epstein-Barr, after working so hard to get my health back up, was really a game changer to being able to do the things that I need to do. We know we need to be physically active. We know we need to make better health choices. But when you're so fatigued, you can't get off your couch after you work 40 hours, you're really not going to make those choices. So I tell people there's no magic pill. But if you have something to help you correct your gut, and then you start to feel better, you're able to work out, you're able to meal prep, you're able to choose water over soda or a coffee through Dunkin', because you're just dying for caffeine so you can get through your day. So it really does make a huge difference. So I'm very thankful for the product. I'm very thankful for the team. It really has been a godsend to me. And now everyone I talk to, they're like, Amanda's going to talk about Plexus. I'm like, I'm going to talk about Jesus and Plexus. I promise you. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. I'm going to pass on now. And I'm not sure. I don't know who's next. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's me. It's KK. Hi, guys. This is so good. Is everybody loving this? I'm loving this. These testimonies get me, man. They just warm my heart. Hold on one sec. Oh, there I am. Okay. So I started Plexus in 2020, and it feels like such a long time ago because I've come so far. I was, at the time, we were traveling full time in our RV as a family across the country, and I was really dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression, and a lot of hormone imbalances. I was also, at the time, I had Lyme disease, which is something I had had for like 30 plus ish years. So I was used to the chronic Lyme symptoms, the neuro symptoms, the fatigue, and I wasn't really looking for anything for my Lyme specifically, but I was looking for something to answer my anxiety, depression, and hormone issues. And so I started scrolling Instagram, you know, in the woes of depression late at night, early in the morning as you're scrolling. And I kept seeing people sharing a pink drink and talking about gut health. And I was like, what even is this? And they were saying, oh, it helps with your hormones. And I was like, sign me up. I don't know what this stuff is, but I'm willing to try literally anything at this point. My poor husband, we always joke. We joke now because I wanted a divorce every single month, and it was always at a certain time of the month that I was like, we're getting a divorce, this isn't working. And then I realized it was my hormones. So that was like a really eye-opening for me. But so I decided to try the triplex, which is what all of these lovely ladies have been sharing about, and gave it a go. And after the first couple of weeks, I remember waking up somewhere in Florida. At the time, we were in Florida, and I came out of my RV bedroom and I looked at my husband and I said, I'm not sad. It was like this moment, and I'll always remember it. I was like, I'm not sad. Like something's changing, something's shifting. And I was super excited about that. And I knew it was the products. And so I kept taking them and I kept taking them. And I just slowly started to see things improve to the point where I was like, well, shoot, like I need to share this with people because something's changing and other people need this. We don't need to divorce our husbands around that time of the month. Like everybody needs this. And so I started sharing with just friends and family, and had no idea that I was building a business per se at the time, but I was just sharing. And I just kept seeing my health improve. After the first year, I kind of went, oh my goodness, I haven't had a single Lyme issue. And when I say Lyme issues, it's like stabbing migraines, fogginess, fatigue, joint pain, swelling, like not being able to get out of bed. I was doing things like hiking with my kids, and I had energy, and that was just super weird for me. And I told my husband, I was like, I think I need to get retested for Lyme because I don't think I have it anymore. Like something's up. And so we went across country to my Lyme doctor in Idaho and went through a bunch of retesting. And I'd been dealing with Lyme for 30 plus years since I was a little girl. It had become chronic. At one point, I was dealing with paralysis. I was in a wheelchair. I was having strokes and seizures every day. And like Lyme disease was just a part of my life. And so we show up to the clinic and I get retested. And he's like, what are you doing? Because you don't have Lyme anymore. Like you have 0 markers. It's nowhere to be seen. Like, tell me what you're doing. Basically. And he is now on Plexus and he loves it, by the way, my Lyme doctor. But yeah, so it's been a whirlwind of the last 3 years. And like I said, like I just started sharing with people because I wanted this freedom and this joy for other people. I wanted them to experience it as well. And now I have a business and it's growing and I love every second of it. I just soak it up. It's been such a huge financial blessing to our family. It kept us traveling, and it has just blessed our lives in a way that I didn't think was possible. through a network marketing company because I was that person who like refused to do network marketing. Never say never. And the financial aspect of this, I think the combination of our company's desire to see lives be healthy and happy, but also to see homes and families thrive financially, that combination of it is just perfection. Like our company just does things so well. And I'm just so grateful for that. So my sweet friend Chris Deary, she has an amazing testimony along the lines of the financial side, also the health side. Side note, she is the person I found randomly while I was scrolling Instagram one day and reached out to her, and she is the reason that I am here. So pass it to her.
Hello, you guys. I'm going to bring you into real life for just a second. Is that okay? Because in the background, you might hear a car alarm. And the timing of this car alarm going off, we actually had a vehicle stolen this morning. So I'm up here and I'm listening to KK and I'm texting all my teenagers like, I hear an alarm going off in the driveway. I'm actually on a call. Can you please check what's going on? So if you hear background noise, I think everything's okay. Kind of flustered me given the circumstances of our day. So I feel like, wow, this is nutso timing, but all the more makes me really excited just to bring you into our storyline, and that much more confident that if it's even just for one person tonight, it is so worth being on here right now. 8 years ago is when I heard, well, not when I heard about Plexus, is when I decided to give it a go, and had found myself at rock bottom. But if I rewind the tape a little bit further back, 20 years ago is when I found this industry. I met my husband, who was already a part of network marketing, and he told me his salvation story and how he had gone as a drug dealer to a sold out believer because of some business owners in a network marketing industry. And so I had a very fast love for the industry and joined alongside him. We were a part of that company for several years. And in that time, really sensed the Lord dropping a dream in our hearts to go diamond, which was the top of that company, and then have the time and financial freedom to go into ministry, not needing a paycheck. Do you hear that alarm? We're going to assume everything's fine. I'm so distracted. Oh my goodness sakes. So that was our dream. Now, it did not come to fruition. Have you ever had a dream in your heart and then everything in your circumstances were completely opposite what you sensed from the Lord? And we walked into about a decade of what felt like, I mean, there was so many good moments, but really it felt like it was like trial upon trial upon trial. But there were two that were quite significant. One was when the market crashed in 2008. We lost everything, 6 homes, my husband's job, and walked through a wild, beautiful journey. But it was also very humbling and very hard to lose everything and find ourselves living with friends, later kind of crawling out of it on food stamps and coupon cutting and dumpster diving for the coupon inserts, all the things. There's so many stories I could tell you. We were coming out of that as we had our 6th child. We have 8 now, but we had number 6, Judah James, and 5 weeks into his beautiful life, he suffered 2 spontaneous brain hemorrhages. So it was like the carpet was pulled out from underneath us. There are so many noises outside. My office is all glass windows, and I'm like, I can tell I'm more jumpy right now. So he walked through these brain hemorrhages, and I remember just getting to this place of like, I don't know if anything good is going to come in life. Like I was just a mess, hormonal mess. I wasn't getting sleep. I was in caregiver burnout. I went on to have Malachi right before I found Plexus. And the hormones and everything, my health was spiraling, and it was affecting my thoughts. It was affecting my emotions. It was affecting my marriage. It was affecting my spiritual walk. And I hit rock bottom October of 2014. Rock bottom for me looked like leaving our home to take my life. At that point, my thoughts were so out of whack. I just thought the world would be a better place if I could just leave and find a way to escape the pain that I just felt like I couldn't get away from. That ultimately, as wild as that is what led me to try Plexus. That made no sense. Like
the symptoms that I had in my body, why would I try a pink drink called Slim, right? But I just couldn't shake the fact that the more I cried out for a miracle, the more I cried out for the Lord to touch and heal my body and heal our family, the more I kept thinking about a pink drink. I thought, surely not, Lord. Like, why would it be what I thought was a diet drink? I gave in. I'm keeping it out for kids. I gave in, gave it a try. And 60 days in is when Chad looked at me as I was dancing in the living room with my kids with a genuine smile on my face. And he said, I have my wife back. I haven't seen you like this in years. And that's what was fascinating. It didn't take me back to a pre-grief Krista. It took me back to how I felt in my early 20s. It took me back, like I remember even saying, like, I was a great nanny. Now I'm an exhausted mommy. Like, why can't I be like I was as a babysitter? Because I was amazing. And here I was napping every day, like for years, like, what happened to me? I felt like I had lost myself. And in this journey of like really stabilizing hormones, I felt like I was finding me again. And that then opened up a heart healing journey because I was thinking straight, and this beautiful like beginning of a fresh journey with the Lord and in our home and in our marriage and in our family. Well, when something like that happens, it's hard to keep it a secret. Those first 2 months, I for sure kept it a secret out of pride. But there did come a moment where I thought, this is ridiculous. People need to know about this. Now, I wasn't looking for a business. I had 7 children and I homeschool and I'm a caregiver. And I had never worked in our entire marriage. I had always supported Chad and was very content and fulfilled in that role. Didn't have any desire to ever work. So I wasn't looking for a business. I just knew people needed this. And so I threw a post out there, admitted for the first time publicly, truly what I had walked through. And really, I could say the rest is history. Obviously, so much happened since that time that transpired and turned into this beautiful, beautiful journey of now a lovely team with like the best culture ever. And I've met the best people. And we've just seen the Lord write a story over Team Revive that has been so much bigger than anyone could have ever imagined. It truly has become a place of impact and ministry. And the stories are endless and have such variety of lives that have been touched, of marriages restored, of families who are just thriving in health, but also finding time freedom and financial freedom. And that's ultimately what happened for us here. This college dropout, stay-at-home mom who had been barefoot and pregnant for years upon years ended up earning multiple 6-figure income. Usually you wouldn't say stuff like that, right? Like you never are like, hey, my name's Krista and this is how much money I make. We don't go around talking like that, do we? I do in this industry, and here's why. What I've done, I believe anyone can join today and reach where I am faster than I ever could have thought of reaching it 8 years ago. That's just how things are in the economy, in this industry, the way they keep making the comp plan even better. I look at what we have right now and I'm seeing people and what is happening. And I'm more confident today than ever before that anyone can join and can surpass me. That's not true of every company, but the way our compensation plan is built, it is true here. You really could surpass the person that enrolls you, surpass me. You can go after whatever you want. And where do you get that? Like there's no cap. There's no cap on your limit. Like you can go after what is in your heart and whatever the Lord puts inside of you to go after. And I think it's such a beautiful thing. So about 6 years ago, my husband came home full-time. As a full-time husband and dad, it was the best gift in the whole world to have 5 years where we did life together as a family. We traveled together, homeschooled together, and enjoyed freedom. And then in this last year and a half, he did step into ministry, and we saw the fulfillment of what was a dream 20 years ago. Go Diamond, go Pastor. We did Go Diamond here in Plexus, the same name of the same top rank. And it has just been a really surreal, beautiful process and such a reminder that yes, when the Lord drops a dream in your heart, there is a time of fulfillment. Yes, there might be an in-between stage where there's so many lessons that you learn and you unpack as you go along the way. And he provides such purpose through pain and through anything the enemy might throw your way, right? But we're so thankful for the storyline he has written. The biggest encouragement I could give to you tonight is to ask a lot of questions. Whoever referred you here, they really care about you. And we are firm believers that it's not about making a sale. but it is about making an impact. And so our desire for you is that you find what you need for what is in your heart, that you reach your health goals, whether it's here or some other way, that you go after what the Lord tells you to do, whether that's here or somewhere else. We want to fan the flame to ensure that you're in the center of God's will for your life and you walk that out and fulfill it. So ask questions. Know that we're not going to try to strong arm you and manipulate you just to get you to join us. Instead, we want to see, is this the right fit for you? Does this fit your budget? Will this help you reach your health goals? What would be the right products even for your health goals? And is this an opportunity that could really bless your family? So when we get done here, send them a message, let them know hey, this is what I would love to see change in my health. What are your ideas for me? Go back and forth, figure that out. You're welcome to reach out to me or any of the ladies that we're speaking here tonight as well. If you do have further questions, of course, we want you to ensure that you join with the person that referred you here. But any of us are available to help at any time. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're so honored that you would spend a portion of your evening with us. And with that, wish you good night. Sleep tight. We'll see y'all soon.